everybody, once again. Thank you for being here. My name is Mauricio Garcia, and I guess we'll call this the week of the modern-day Alexander. You'll see why, especially if you've been tuning in since the beginning of the week. You'll see why. To elaborate deeper into what it really takes, what kind of psychology, mentality, paradigms we need to be adopting to be successful in business, I'm going to bring in the host of this show, the modern-day Alexander, as well, the Hall of Fame entrepreneur, which is my friend, my business partner, Mr. Hubert Humphrey. I salute you this morning. Again, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Glad to be here with you, buddy. And it's just great to being with you as a modern-day Alexander, and all these other people out there that need to be the modern-day Alexanders of their own life. They need to go out and conquer their own futures. It's so fun talking about this.
Yeah, when I first heard it, I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What modern-day Alexander? Who's Alexander? And what are you talking about, right? But anyways, Alexander, we're talking about Alexander the Great, guys. And there are some characteristics that make a modern-day Alexander, which is what we're going to cover today. So, discipline. Definitely. I've heard you say, there's a certain phrase that I don't know if you were thinking about, attaching that to today's topic, but is that discipline and accountability leads to ascension and dominance. I love that phrase.
Mm-hmm. And it's where it all starts right there. Mm-hmm. And you I think you mentioned last one of the last couple of shows about there's a shortage of leadership in the world in our countries. And well, the reason why there's a shortage of leadership is there's a shortage of discipline, because the first principle of leadership is the discipline to follow, the discipline to align yourself with success principles, the discipline to find a system and stick to it, a discipline to do the successful things that it's going to take to be a leader of your people. Mm-hmm. It just takes discipline to do that. And the more discipline you got, the better you become at something, and the more confidence you got, the more courage you got, the more success you have as a leader. So it all starts with discipline, and discipline. You got to have discipline. The reason why I'm always talking about our system, the system is what gives people who don't have discipline. I remember when I first starting out in business, and I kind of learned the principles of this system, and it started filling a big void in my life, because all of a sudden I said, well, success is I need to do this, okay, then I'm going to do this. And as I did it, I started to realize that I was borrowing the discipline of that system. And it was, after a while, it embedded it in me. And and then anything you do has to have some accountability to it. That's why being aligned with something bigger than yourself is a key, and being a part of a system and have that accountability. Because what that old saying is, where performance is measured, performance will certainly improve. Mm-hmm. And so you need some. It'd be like trying to play a basketball game and there's no scoreboard. There's no accountability for what you do. The accountability is nothing but a scoreboard for that particular action your success demands that you take. That's all accountability is. It's just success is scoring you on that. Instead of the final exam for the semester, you having a little your daily assignment. Did you do it? Well, they're going to grade you. Did you do it? Well, did you pass or fail for your day's assignment? That's all accountability is in life. And of course, the next big thing is courage. And I said that a while ago. If you get to following, if you got the discipline to follow a system and then be aligned with people who are following the system, it's amazing how much courage all of a sudden you start to borrow. You start to have that courage. And courage comes from confidence. Confidence comes from having done something enough to know, or either watch somebody else do it where you could borrow that confidence, and it was very predictable what they were doing works. And now all of a sudden you got a lot of confidence. That's where confidence comes from. All this is learnable, teachable, it's developable.
Yeah, great message, by the way. I think it was yesterday's, or the day before, we were talking about that the level of confidence and the courage you had on that jet on your way to a big meeting where you saw the words, the Alexander inked. It's just. But I think even if we're not at that level, the experience the challenges that we've decided to overcome, the experience we got, that gives us courage. Everybody has probably more courage in them than they realize.
Oh yeah, I mean I was trapped on the railroad for 17 years. Thought I was going to Georgia Tech, going to get my degree, but after 2 years I take a summer job, and next thing you know, the summer job becomes a 17-year, almost a life sentence on this job. And I thought I was trapped. And when all of a sudden this idea, whose time had come, came my way, and I saw it, I had to have some courage. But I had developed enough knowledge of this little system that I could see that this system was going to fit into this, and it would give me a break. When I could see that there was a place for me to put this system and go at it, then when I got in and tried it for the first month or 2 or 3, I said, man, this works. I can do this. And 3.5 months later, I quit 17 years on the railroad, something I'd been trying for years and years and years to do, and I jumped at it. And because it took some courage to do that. I had to be willing to just change my life. Then later, a year and a half later, I uprooted my family from Macon, Georgia. I'd never been on a plane but once prior to that in my life, and we take my family out to Denver to relocate them, and repotted our plant in a whole new place. And it took courage to give up all of that done there, to go out and to open up the West. And but by now, I had system confidence. I had some repetitions of successful things. I was following some successful people who had shown me that it works. So I had borrowed confidence, and until I developed enough confidence on my own. So that's the power. That's how important courage and confidence is.
Not to be confused with boldness. And I know there's different things, but
boldness is something that first of all, if you don't have courage, you're not fixed to go off and do some bold action.
Right.
You're going to stay timid, hiding. We talk about the people, these dreamers of the beware. Don't be just a dreamer of the night, or your dreams will probably be more like nightmares. But beware of the dreamers of the day, because they will awaken in the broad daylight and act out in full view these wild ambitions that they have. And that's the point I'd gotten to in my life. I went from a dreamer of the night, living a nightmare, to a dreamer of the day that could awaken in the middle of the day and have this dream and go after it and do bold things that I never thought I could do before. It wasn't because I was born with it. It wasn't because I was lucky. It was because I had learned some keys. I'd learned some systems, and I'd got with a bunch of people that were just doing the right things at the right place, and aligned myself with all that. And guys, my hunger and desire, if you're hungry enough, you'll get bold. Just put it like this. You'll get bold, and then it talks about the audacity. Now we're getting into some big fancy words. Audacity. Audacity means you got to go do something that's, it's ridiculous. Nobody's supposed to think that way. Nobody can do something like that. Why in the world you want to think a little guy from Mexico living up here in the States who was just working at a battery plant could go out and do something? How does a little railroad conductor think he's going to go out there and conquer the business world? He's talking about being a modern day Alexander. What a joke!
Yeah, sit down.
Just this, and then go put a full-page ad in the USA Today to announce that he's just left. He's jumped out of an airplane with a perfectly good airplane without a parachute, and he's going to go out and do it again and tell the world how stupid he is. That's how audacious that was. Bodacious, audacious. There's a fine line between stupid and audacity. You got to make sure you're at the right place to be on the right side of that line.
But guys, we're talking about the characteristics of a modern day Alexander. So you got to possess these things.
Yeah, that's right. We're not talking about a modern day school teacher or a modern day plumber or a modern day railroad conductor. We're talking about a modern day business Alexander that's going to go conquer the business world out there.
Right.
So
exactly.
if you don't want to be one of these, this may sound a little too it may be too exciting for some people. Maybe their blood pressure won't allow that. Some people, that just seems like it's a little bit too bold. But I know one thing: it's a magnificent way to live your life. No, the worst thing you'll be is better than you were. The worst it'll ever be is wonderful, and you'll have more fun and more passion. You will get a lot more out of your effort being bold like this than you would any other way. And then, of course, there's another principle there about loyalty. Now,
that's a big one.
I need to give some guys a little secret to loyalty, because a lot of people are loyal to the wrong things.
Right.
I know a lot of people out there says, well, I joined this guy, and he's starting his company, and he helped me, loaned me some money, helped me pay my bills. He helped me when I needed it the most. Guys, that's wonderful. That's wonderful to be around this kind of stuff. But if you find out that that person can't get you to where you want to be, you gotta. There's other ways that you can reward him for what that person did in your friendship. It's not being unloyal or disloyal if you know that now I've got to go on about my business life and do what I got to do, because staying where I'm staying is not going to get it. It's not a loyalty issue. It's a business issue.
I want to share this because I think it fits perfect, even though it happens with a client where he's been with the advisor for many, many, many years, but we realized that this current strategy they were following could not get him to where he wanted to go. We could get him to where he wanted to go. And loyalty at that time, it meant millions of dollars that friendship or that loyalty would have cost him. And I don't think that's the way to do it. It would have thanked him for everything that the other person did up until that point. But moving forward, you've got to be able to recognize when it's time to move to the vehicle that's going to take you to where you're going. I don't know if that. I mean, it can be related in practices like what we do for clients, but also in business, which is one of the things that we speak about the most in this podcast. So I'm sorry I interrupted you. It just clicked right now that don't get it confused.
Well, you don't. But the thing you need to be loyal to of all things is loyal to success principles. Loyal to powerful, successful ideas and ways of doing business that will make you win in the era that you're in the field that you're in, and stay true to those principles. It's when you become like right now in HDI, those people in HDI that they sort of quit following the system and kind of do it their own little way. They're not disloyal to me. They're disloyal to the system, and they'll pay a price to it. So it's a different kind of. It's like that old saying. This is not. Don't take this personal, guys. This is business, and there's business loyalty. Then there's now you want to be loyal to your support. I'm going to be supportive of my wonderful parents and grandparents that brought me here, and I'm going to be as loyal as I can be to my Heavenly Father and to my Savior, and certainly won't be loyal to. I won't be loyal to friends. There's a lot of friends I've made over the years as I stay in touch. There's a lot that I haven't talked to in many, many years. Now, whether they think I'm their friend or not, I am, and I haven't forgotten them. And in fact, I've gone on and tried to pave a way that if they ever wanted to come join me, they certainly know where I'm at, and would want to help them. So there's loyalty, and then there's. I think we said it there. I think another these other two principles, right quick, is concentration and competitive spirit.
Right.
You have to have concentration. You got to. And on our next show, we're going to talk a little bit more about concentration. So I won't talk a lot about it, but it's focus. There's no hocus pocus here, guys. No magic. No hocus pocus. Just focus. You got to learn to concentrate. And again, a system. If you're doing things on a success system over and over and over again, that is the ultimate form of concentration. It means all your effort and energies are going into a repeating method over and over, and you're teaching it faster to people. You're compounding. You're eliminating error and inconsistency. That's all called concentration. The more you can stop diluting and keep focus, is the more you're concentrated on your efforts.
Mm-hmm. And then obviously the competitive spirit. We'll talk about it just to wrap it up. I don't know if you want to. I think you did covered it. So we'll wrap it up there, Hubert. I think it's a great podcast today. I invite everybody to go back into it and study what are the characteristics of a modern-day Alexander. And I also want to remind you, as every day I do, to go and check out the HEI opportunity by going to HEIopportunity.com. It's a very simple link for you to remember. Go check it out. It is the best opportunity in America today. It is the vehicle that's going to take you from where you are now to where you want to go. And so you'll thank me later after you check that out. So, Hubert, thank you once again. As always, have an amazing day. And we'll see you tomorrow for this week's last episode of the Conquistador Podcast. Take care, everybody. Right. Have a good day, Hubert.
See you, man. Take care.
Warning, this podcast may change the way you think about business, entrepreneurship, and money forever. The Conquistador Podcast was created for dreamers, entrepreneurs, and leaders who want to conquer their future. To be an epic entrepreneur, you must adopt the right mental paradigms as well as master the art of selling, marketing, and finance.